Today I'm going to introduce you to a powder foundation that doesn't act like a powder foundation.
It's fine.
Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. For those that are new here, I'm Mary, I'm 50 years old, and I love experimenting with products that help me look as young as I feel. So today is going to be a Foundation Friday. And if you come to this channel regularly or you read my blog, you will know I'm not really a makeup girl. I'm way more a skincare kind of girl. So makeup really isn't my forte. I'm not great at it, but it is something that I wear and I wear on a regular basis. So today I'm actually quite excited about this product that I stumbled across. Now, generally my makeup situation is I wear liquids and I wear creams and I wear tinted things because of the age of my skin. So if I'm filming, for example, I tend to wear things that are a bit heavier. Like I will wear Estee Lauder's Futurist foundation, which is fabulous. And I also wear IT Cosmetics CC cream because they have a lot of pigment in it. So I tend to put a lot more on my face if I'm going to be on camera, which doesn't happen all that often. So I don't wear these regularly anymore because I'm not going to work every day. So generally I tend to reach for things like a tinted serum, this one by Trinity London, which I really like. Or I will do a tinted SPF or a tinted moisturizer. But they all have one thing in common, and that's that they're liquidy. And by nature, it's not my favorite. I find liquid stuff messy, and I always have, because you either have to put it on a palette or you have to put it on your hand, and there's sort of this messy thing that I've never liked. So when I really started wearing makeup, in my 20s, I guess I went towards the powder foundations. I loved Bare Minerals in my 20s, and then in my 30s it was IT Cosmetics, and when I moved to Ireland I was introduced to Jane Iredale, which is fantastic. But as I got older and older and I started to get the fine lines and wrinkles, I found that powdered foundation just didn't play well with my skin anymore. It started to look cakey, my face started to look drier, and it settled into those things that you're trying to not accentuate when you get to my age. So I kind of just had to put them to the side. But lo and behold, one day, flipping through Instagram, I came across an ad that made me stop. And there was a woman, I don't even know, she must have been late 50s maybe, who was swirling around into a powder foundation and putting it on her face. And I was like, wow, okay, that's interesting. Because I didn't think that you could marry mature skin with a kind of on-the-go powder foundation. So, as I usually do, hopped onto Google, did a little search, and started finding out about this. So this is a makeup by Laura Geller, New York, and it's called Baked Balance and Brighten Color Correcting Foundation. So went to the website, but I really wanted to look at reviews and see if people were talking about it. And what really sold me on it was a YouTube clip that Wayne Goss, is a makeup artist in the UK, had done. We're talking 2016, and he was saying how great this product was. And I watched him put it on, he put it on to himself, and he said it's a dream. Now for 30 quid, you kind of go, feck it, I'm gonna buy it and give it a try. And I was not disappointed. Okay, so this is what they say. This is what the guys at Laura Geller say. So they say it is a weightless, creamy coverage that self-adjusts. So that means that the colors are on the forgiving side. So they come in 9 shades. I have this in a medium, which is sort of on the, that's kind of probably in the middle. But I feel that I could probably go lighter and it really wouldn't make a huge difference. It's a demi-matte, luxurious finish infused with antioxidants, yay. Perfect for mature skin, hot flashes, fine lines, and wrinkles. So they were definitely speaking my language. So I picked it up, and I've been using it now probably for a couple of months because I kind of alternate between this and my Trinity London and even my CC cream from IT. I like them all. But I have to say, this form factor is exactly what I like. It's the finish that I really like. So today I'm going to show you how I use it. And then what I'm going to do is check back in later and let you see how it works throughout the day. So let's check that out. Okay, so now we're going to get started. This is what this makeup looks like. It's swirly, kind of a mess of color. Now for this, I am using a MAC stippling brush. Now, it's not perfect for it. Ordinarily, when I'm doing a liquid foundation or cream, I would use sort of something that's a lot thicker like this, and I don't like it for powder because I find it gets too cakey. Now this, I think, is a little bit too much give, and I'd like something in the middle, so I haven't found the perfect one for that yet. But all I do is swirl it around, tap it off, and I tend to start in the middle of my face because this is where I have all of my redness. And then I just swirl it around, including over the eyes. Now, one thing that's different about this is I actually don't use a concealer. I use this as a concealer, I should say. Now what I find is that you actually don't need to use as much product as you would think you would. You just need to keep blending and blending and blending. Because on a few occasions I keep thinking, there's nothing on my face. And then, 20 minutes later you go into the sunshine or whatever and you realize, oh, I might have been a little too heavy-handed with it. So the key is just to blend, blend. Sorry, my hair's on the way. Blend. So I probably tap it 3 times, maybe 4. And that's going to be enough for my whole face. Now this isn't going to give a full coverage like you would with the regular cream, but generally I don't really want that anyway. I like it to be quite light. I like to, for my skin to shine through. I don't want to look like I'm wearing a ton of makeup. But I do find, because these formulas are dry, there's just no mess. There's nothing to clean up. I don't have to worry about it. I do occasionally get a little bit of a brush hair stuck on my face, mind you. I have a couple. Once I'm relatively happy with that, then I will go in and use it underneath my eyes. For this, I use my It Cosmetics dual end, some kind of Lux number, I can't remember what it's called. And then I will go in and just do a tiny bit at usually the corners of my eyes and the outsides, just to give a little bit of lightness. And I tend to go around the nose. And I have a little scar here on the top from a car accident when I was in high school. I have a scar here too. So those are the things that I'll just do, those little bits, and then I'm done. And then to finish it off, it's sort of the same 3 or 4 products that I always use. One is, this little guy, my Maybelline Baby Lips, because, so when I'm using a powder foundation, I tend to use a powder blush as well, and I'm just using a little bit here and a little bit here to give me a tiny bit of color. And I tend to go a tiny bit on the eyelids just for a bit of depth. And then I do my mascara. Finally got a new eyelash curler, thank goodness. But you didn't really need it because this mascara is so good, which is my Lancome Lash Idol, which is my new love. I'm here, I might as well leave them out. And then the last thing is the eyebrows. This is a eyebrow pencil that I got from Beauty Pie. Just gonna fill in a bit. I don't go mad on the eyebrows, but do have from pockets from a car accident I was in where the hair doesn't grow. So I like to just kind of fill that in a little bit. So that's it. Now, I have to say that I am incredibly impressed with the finish of this, because I don't know if you guys can see it or not, but there's a slight luminosity to it, and I don't even understand how a powder foundation can do this. I really don't get it, but there's no dryness to it. And now, in fairness, my skin started off quite moisturized. I did all my morning skincare routine, and even the SPF that I put on has a real luminosity to it, and it's quite thick, so it leaves a heavy layer of hydration. So I went on to sort of dewy skin anyway. But the finish on this is unreal, and it does not settle into any of the fine lines and wrinkles. There's just no dryness, no patches anywhere. And I'm really happy with the way that this turns out. So this is a total thumbs up. It's one that I tend to be reaching for more and more these days because I find it super easy to put on. But what I want to do is come back to you a couple of times throughout the day so you can see how it wears. So right now it is 8 a.m. and I'm going to check back in around lunchtime, depending on when I break, from work, and I will check back in at the end of the day so we can see how this wears. Now, obviously, I'm not going to powder it. There's no need to powder it. that has just the right amount of luminosity, I think, and sort of a highlight to it that it's just perfect. So we're just going to wait and see how that wears throughout the day. See you soon. Hey guys, I'm back. It is now 1 o'clock, so it has been 5 hours that I've been wearing the makeup. How'd we do? Now, from what I can see in the mirror sitting in front of me, I think we are looking pretty good. We've held out better than my hair has. There is still a luminosity to it. I can't see where it's really worn off hugely. I mean, there's still enough coverage. It's enough coverage for me. I'm happy. It doesn't seem to have settled into any massively into fine lines and wrinkles. It maybe has lightened a little bit right here, but I don't see a lot of redness, which was generally what happened in this area here. You don't see any of my age spots. Those are still covered, which is a good sign. It still has a dewiness to it. I think it's looking pretty good. What do you think? Okay, I'll check back in later. Hey guys, I'm back. It is now 5:35. So I have had this stuff on all day. And what do we think? I think it looks fine. Now, it's probably worn off a little bit. I actually will have to go back and compare from the morning to see, but I don't see any huge patches. I mean, it's probably worn, but I think it's worn quite evenly. So I don't have any major complaints on this. I mean, my blush is gone. But I mean, as far as looking at wear, most of my makeup doesn't seem to last all that long anyway, but I don't think I can see any redness coming through. I definitely don't see any sort of settling into the fine lines and wrinkles. I mean, it still has a slight sort of dewiness to it. Now, I have to caveat it and say, I am a serial mister. If you guys watch my videos, you know this. So I have probably spritzed 10 times, 15, 20 times today, because I kind of have these all over the house, and that's just because I have really dehydrated skin. So if anything, it's kind of helping to keep a plumpness and keep them from really drying out, but I would do that with makeup or without. But I mean, I think all in all, this looks fantastic. So I'm really liking this. I'm liking it a lot. And in fact, over the past week or so, I have probably been reaching for this one more than the Trini, which I absolutely adore, only because it doesn't mess up my hands, because the Trini, you have to put it on with your hands. It's like a tinted serum, and I love it. I love the look of it. I love the feel of it. But this, I'm just sitting here, you swoosh a little on and off you go. So I actually rate this really, really highly, and I'm going to keep using it. So it's always nice to have sort of a mix in the arsenal, and I think many of us probably do. I have three there, 2 there. I have a couple, and you just kind of grab what you want. But this is definitely a winner, and it's one that I'm going to continue to use. So I hope that was interesting. I hope you enjoyed the video, and I hope that you will subscribe, and I hope that you'll give me a thumbs up, and also hit that notification bell so you know when new videos are uploaded, which happens every Friday. And also, you can check me out on Instagram, because I'm actually putting different content, and probably more regular. I'm on Instagram generally most days. So if you want to go and check me out, Skin Obsessed Mary, you can find me there too. So thanks again for joining, and I'll see you next time. Bye. Oh, it's 5 hours. I can't count. And I even went like that and I got it wrong. Okay, did I do that again?